Hey, Coaster Chicken here. Thought we'd do something a bit different. I'm going to take you back in time to Alton Towers, 2009. Let's go have a look at what the park had back then, what it didn't have, and some nostalgia for you all. So, let's go. So yeah, we're here at the front entrance to Alton Towers back in 2009. Gotta be honest, the paintwork's different, but doesn't seem to be anything different apart from obviously where we're standing right now is the corkscrew, and obviously that isn't there at the moment. So obviously the corkscrew must have only been recently removed because it's not been installed. I think I spotted something over here that we don't see very often either. You've got a cash sales box office here. Obviously, as time's gone on, kind of people don't really pay so much with cash, do they, for things? So that's definitely gone. It seems silly just to have a separate thing for cash only. Look at these deals though. So this is interesting. Back in 2009, an individual annual pass for Alton Towers was £75. And you even got that day's entry refunded as well. Wow. Parents with kids, that's £3. That's a bargain, isn't it? You take your young kid in for £3. Come back tomorrow, £9. Come back any day, £14. Family of four, £28 to return that. You don't get offers like that at Towers now. Ooh, bargain. I don't think I can get a clear enough shot of the ticket prices standard there now. No, I'd be lying if I tried to guess. It's much cheaper. It was much cheaper back then based on those offers. Oh, look at that monorail. So that's a Daisies one. It's nice to kind of see these different ones. I've got to be honest, I guess kind of they haven't changed recently over the last few. So you've got kind of the pirate one, you've got the jelly bean one, you've got the cow one. But you can't get bored of them. I quite like seeing something different. And I wonder if we'll see any more as we go along the park. I like the monorail station as well. That's nice. It's a nice design. But let's get in the park. Okay, let's have a look in the actual park. So let's jump in. Let's go through the box office. And we're in. So we're in the park. Free cash machines. I don't know if they're still there. I don't think they are. I don't actually know where you'd get cash now if you needed it at Alton Towers. No idea. Ride into the Unknown coming in 2010. 13, so this must have just been while they were building 13. I'll have to head over to well, it's probably Ugland back then. We'll have a look in a bit. There's Alton Bay. Towers Family Restaurant. See, that'd have been a nice place, I think. £6.25 for the Great British Carvery. Oh, I don't remember this place, but that would have been a dream come true for me now. I love a carvery. I don't necessarily know how happy I'd be eating one and then getting on like Nemesis, but wow, I'd love a carvery. It's a theme park, that's brilliant. I think we've gone backwards really with letting that go. So obviously September 2009, we must be coming up to Scarefest. And on the lawn, you have got the old hearse there with the characters. Skelvin, I'm not sure what the other two are called. But I've just spotted some nostalgia there, so we're going to head over there first. First land I want to look at, really. Got some major nostalgia about Storybook Land. One of the first kind of memories I have of theme parks is kind of Storybook Land and Peter Rabbit on ice. That there, the Squirrel Nutty ride as well, I remember that. I don't remember what was in Storybook Land, but let's have a look. Let's go inside and see what we can see. I think that's old McDonald's farm over that side, so we'll come back to that in a moment. But oh, is this Bookworm? Oh, I remember Bookworm. So Bookworm is this animatronic, and you kind of press a button down here, and he'd tell you a story. Oh wow, I'm getting proper nostalgia now. That's cute. Oh, I remember that. Got Squirrel Nutty in the background. That has been rethemed. Bookworm hasn't survived. I think this is all now a sensory garden. Something special sensory garden, I think. Not sure what's further down here. I know this is the station for the Squirrel Nutty ride. Looks like there's a kids' play area here. And I think over here was my first ever coaster credit here. The Beastie. Yeah, the Beastie. It's not a lot to look at, but I think that was actually my first coaster credit. So it was like one of these kind of dragon coasters. You've seen them, they're like wacky worms, only with a dragon on instead. They went round twice, but that was my first dip into the world of coasters. I've got to be honest, back then I loved coasters. This was way before my nemesis horror. Do you remember the Beastie? Is it something you rode? I don't know if that's part of Storybook Land though. I don't know if we've come out, because I can see Spinball Wizards there as well. So I don't know if this was all Adventureland back then. I don't think there must have been a lot in Storybook Land apart from Bookworm, because this is definitely Old McDonald's farm. I'm pretty sure that's the Old McDonald's tractor ride. I think down here there was a kids' play area. Into the dung heap, I think it was. I think let's have a look. Yeah, so literally a building made out of dung with some flies running about. I'm pretty sure all of this was like play area. Looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, slides and climbing frames. I think really that is where the Hey Dougie thing is now. So I don't think much has really changed. Just obviously the CBB style theming. I bet it's going to be the same for a lot of this park though. This part of the park. Because Old McDonald's tractor farm, that is now Postman Pat. It is really well themed though. I think that's the River I Spy ride. Entrance is round the front. We'll have a look at that in a moment. I love the farm theme. I know it's really easy to do, but I just think it's really cute. As a kid, I loved it. Loved the farm area. Yeah, Old McDonald's tractor ride. That's a restaurant now. It's that extra queue line for the tractor ride, I think. I mean, look at the queue, kind of queue entertainment there. Queue theming. That Doodle Doo Derby as well, I think it is. So I think that's now called Bugby Go Round. It's just like a kid's carousel, really. It's all themed to various farm animals like cows and chickens and pigs and sheep. It's cute. Now that is now Justin's House Pie-O-Matic, is it called? Or Thrill-O-Matic or something. You just fire balls at people. I think Berry Bish Bash was the same thing. I think it was sponsored by Ribena for a bit of time as well. And then you got Riverboat I Spy. So really it was very similar to the Night Garden boat ride now, but instead of all the Night Garden characters, you had animals and plastic animals, of course, not real animals. But it just told you a story, really, gave you facts and stuff about the animals, I think noises they made, stuff like that. It was really cute. I don't know if it's nostalgia talking, but I just love the whole kind of, when I was a kid, I loved this farm thing. I'm sure that was like a petting area where you could pet rabbits and guinea pigs, stuff like that. Obviously got Doodle Doo Derby there. I'm getting proper nostalgia from seeing all the park logos and stuff. I wish Alton Towers would celebrate this kind of stuff more. I know it's been well defunct over years and years, and everyone does seem to enjoy. The kids definitely enjoy the CBeebies stuff, but for me, I just miss some of this other stuff. Let's head out of here. Right, let's head down this way. So come out of here. So you've got Spinball Wizard. That's still the same, isn't it? I don't think it was Sonic Spinball back then. No, Spinball Wizard. But that logo's cool. I wish they'd kept that logo. That's really cool. But yeah, can't go wrong with Spinball. Head towards X Sector now, though, because I think a lot has changed over in X Sector. Oh, that's definitely something you don't have in a theme park now. So we've got another cash machine. Like I say, I don't even know where cash machines are anymore. But a phone box. It's really hard to imagine that we ever really needed phone boxes at theme parks. You know what I mean? Really weird just imagining anyone kind of dialing a number in while you're kind of out at the theme park. But I guess we all did, like kind of arranging lifts at the end of the day. Information there, the other kind of things that have disappeared. I bet there's quite a few of these running around, these sales and information points, but once again, everything's so accessible now with phones that you don't even kind of even think of stuff like that, do you? I don't know what I can see in the shop, eh? I wonder if I'm going to zoom in the shop. No, nothing out of the ordinary. Coffee machines, slush puppies, stuff like that. It's a very kind of standard shop. Well, I guess with all these kind of offers for days out, those sales hubs and stuff were probably really useful and probably used by a lot of people. But yeah, head into X Sector. We actually just noticed there's something else you don't see very often now. And that is that there, people reading maps. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can still get the paper maps on towers. But you got people there obviously reading them to try and work out where they're going to next. How mobile phones have changed your life, isn't it? So obviously 2009, Smiler was nowhere near ready being built. I think we got the black hole. I wonder if we can get into queue for the black hole. Let's have a look. Just chicken there. Oh, it wasn't just chicken then. It was KFC. Wow. No, I think black hole must have been defunct at this point. So I think with black hole, as far as I remember, it was closed for a bit. Then it became when they did some scare mazes and stuff. I don't think it's that period. I think it's a bit too early for that as well. But shame, it was a good little ride, black hole as well. That was one of the more intense roller coasters I remember doing as a kid. Obviously got Enterprise over there, which means we should have Submission over here. I did do Submission when I was a kid. It was a brilliant ride. It felt really intense back then. Submission did. But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful ride. It was nice to have these flat rides, and I think Alton Towers really misses them now. But yeah, that's definitely Submission there. Did you do Submission? So yeah, X Sector. It's changed quite a bit. So like I say, we've got the Smiler now. I don't know what's going on where Enterprise was. And obviously Submission. Like, we really miss a permanent flat ride there. I did like Submission. But yeah, let's head out of there. I think head towards Hex, eh? I was going to say the towers are not going to have changed, but actually I think they've done a lot of work over the last few years to renovate them, because I know the glass, the stained glass in the middle's restored now, and a lot of these blacked out windows and stuff have all had glass refitted. So they're doing the best to kind of bring it up to looking its best. But let's head over this way. If I remember every, we've got Cloud Cuckoo Land, and we've got Land, and I bet those will both be different. We've got Hex. I think Hex looks closed by the look of it. Things don't change there, do they? Things don't really change there. Obviously you got driving school still, although back then it was the Peugeot driving school. No, I think there's a couple more phone boxes there. Weird how you see them dotted around now, isn't it? There's none of them now. But like I say, mobile phones have changed all that. Penalty shootout. And like the bungee ropes there with the trampolines. That kind of stuff just doesn't seem to be at Towers anymore. I think we missed that. Oh. So, was there not always, I'm sure there was always a cable car stop there, surely. Surely that's not new. Surely it's just needed some repair work. Was it outdoor before? I don't remember. I'm sure that wasn't a new thing in 2009, 2010. Surely not. That does bring me over to Burger King. So just like our KFC in X Sector is now just chicken, we've got a Burger King gear that became Burger Kitchen. I like Burger King. I like the big brand versions. I've got to be honest, the home versions aren't anywhere near as good. Oh, this was a classic here. So obviously this is now the Dungeons, which is a paid extra, but used to be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was a boat ride, a short boat ride that told you kind of half the character stories, so like Veruca's Salt and stuff like that. Then you got off. I think there was like a pre-showy element that told you kind of Mike TV story from Book, and then you got in the glass elevator from the films. So it was pretty cool. It was like a bit like kind of Rise of the Resistance before Rise of the Resistance was even ready. Just obviously done on a much smaller budget. I think that's what Towers misses, these proper classic dark rides that really were good. That's the exit there. A lot of happy guests leaving. Well, that was in Cloud Cuckoo Land, which is further up here if I can get up there. Let's see if I can get back up. So yeah, Cloud Cuckoo Land. Got the Twirling Toadstool, another great flat ride that sadly has gone. It was quite an intense one, I remember, from being a kid. I don't know if I was just a chicken, because I was, but it got me. It got me. It had me hands in my mouth. And the theatre, I think this must have been before Ice Age. Doesn't show what's showing, but I remember that did show Ice Age for a very long time. You got Gallopers, that's now the Royal Carousel. All they've done is kind of repaint that and move it to where the toadstools are. Wobble World Cafe, I think I was a little old for Wobble World, but I think Wobble World was like a kids' play area. Now it's Gangsterground, of course. And then you've got your Peugeot driving school. It's a shame really, because like I say, this building here behind this used to be the Nickelodeon Out of Control building. I remember that as a kid, but not used now. Same with the theatre, that was Ice Age 4D theatre, and neither of them are used, just wasted space. Frog Hopper there. What's brilliant about that is literally same ride is still there now. It's called Raji's Bottom Burp and it farts. So some things never change with Towers, and then some things really change. So obviously we can tell things like, as time's moved on, we've lost things like flat rides and phone boxes. Yeah, let's head over to Ugland. I don't think there'd been much left of Ugland, to be fair, back in 2009 then, if Rita opened in 2010. No, not Rita, 13. Looks like Rita was already there by the look of that sign. Welcome to Ugland, featuring Rita and the Thunder Rock Rally. I think kind of once Rita got installed, it kind of put Ugland's days numbered. I really liked Ugland. There's quite a lot of different flat rides and photo opportunities, I think I remember. I don't know if any of it's still going to be here, but we'll have a look. But obviously Rita just never really fitted in. I do love Rita, don't get me wrong. I like Rita as a ride, and I think it fits in with the Dark Forest much more now than it fitted in here with Ugland. Looks like it had its own shop back then as well. You got pie and mash. You can't get pie and mash there now, can you? I don't know if I can go any further down there, which is a shame. Oh, it can. All these different well-themed areas, and even the games machines are themed. I wonder if that game thing's different as well, because that's like got wraiths in and stuff now. Yeah, it looks like it's themed to a caveman's house. Quite clever. And these kind of test your strength games that just don't exist anymore. Win a prize every time. Ugbasher. Shame, because this whole area now feels very empty. Like this is what I mean, like photo opportunities, stuff like that. It's cute, it's cool, and I remember having photos as a kid with things like that. I made a big deal of it, like this lady here who's filming. You can see there though, 13 being built. This whole area looks massively different now because obviously 13's here. And there's like obviously the 13Q line as well, which is over here. Another cute photo opportunity there. I'm pretty sure I remember having a photo with that. But all this stuff here, all this empty area is 13 now. Pretty amazing actually to see. Right, let's head towards Mutiny Bay, see what's changed over there, eh? I don't think much will have changed because nothing has really changed in all that time, so I think it's that sign's different, that wasn't there. It's got battle galleons. Well, I'm sure there's guns here now where you pay like £1 and shoot at people. And I'm sure there is there as well. Maybe that's been added over time to improve it, because it doesn't look like this. There's guns there, I think, by the look of it, but I'm sure there's some further around here as well now. Nice little shot there. That's definitely no longer there. What's in there, eh? Anything good? Inflatable parrot. Yeah, battle galleons. I do like battle galleons. There's even a photo opportunity. I do remember that. I've got a picture with some old friends and we're all soaked. So another one of these ticket booths. That's now just a shop. Pirate pasties, that sounds nice. It's a waffle shop now. Oh, Mexican cantina, that sounds nice. Do you know what, I don't remember that at all. It's definitely not there now. But that's the kind of thing I love now. But as a kid, my parents weren't very adventurous, so that's somewhere we just steered clear of. But now, as an adult, that's the dream. The courtyard, not much different there, although I think that's a bit different. What's that there? a proper stage. Oh, and it looks really well themed. There's like the dinosaur there and all the piratey stuff, so it's kind of bringing in the Ugland and the pirates together. I like that. That's really cool. Mutiny Bay won't have changed much. Although I think is that panning for gold? That might be panning for gold. Don't remember it. Evo there. Marauders Mayhem. A lot of these like little games, these fairway games have disappeared sadly. Is that an eating area for Eastern Express now as well? So you're not just got a takeaway, there's also the eating. Wow. There's another burger kitchen there. But you probably already spotted it, yeah? Well, it's Burger King even. It's Burger Kitchen now. You're probably thinking to yourself, where's Bob? Well, Bob wasn't built yet. So, the Flume was here instead. I remember the Flume. The Flume gave me nightmares. Weird, because I love log flumes now. Log flumes are one of my favourite ride types. First one of the things I really got over, but back then I was terrified. I remember doing it as well. I remember the worst experience of my life where somehow, instead of the boat, I can't even remember how it happened, so instead of the boat coming through this lane here and coming back in to get off, we somehow drifted back through this outer lane. So they said, oh, you can go through again. And the ordeal of going down it the first time was so terrifying that I panicked, I screamed, and they had to get me out. It was pretty traumatic actually. But Flume back then was sponsored by Imperial Leather. But I really enjoyed the Flume, looking back on it now as an adult. Wish they had a log Flume now. It's towards the Congo River Rapids though, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of change up here. I've got a shop here now. That's not a shop. That is now a refill station. Sorry, what kind of surprised me there. They've got cigarettes here in the shop. that's a blast from the past as well. So up next to your kind of your sweets and stuff, you got all these different cigarettes as well. Oh, that was something I didn't expect to see. But there's a real variety of sweets and stuff as well, which you don't tend to get anymore either. But cigarettes, that's an odd one. That's an odd one. People must have bought them now. People must have bought them. The old rapids there, actually being rapid with the waterfalls. That's one of the things I think killed that area off as soon as kind of, same with all rapids in all the UK parks, as soon as these kind of effects were turned off and they were made a lot less kind of rushing water and stuff, killed them off. They're no fun now. One of them attractions that I think takes up a lot of room is just kind of a gentle boat ride now, and I think the park could be a happier place if you got rid of that and put something else in its place that's a bit more entertaining. There's only one more place I kind of want to look at, and that'll be Forbidden Valley. Obviously Nemesis will be there, and I think Air was there back then, but it'll be interesting to see what else has changed. That's a question though. Pizza pasta, how much do we think pizza pasta was back then? Let's have a look. All you can eat and drink, $7.95 for adults, $3.95 for children. What a time to be alive, eh? I bet we were loving life back then. Because that's incredible value. Oh, I've somehow ended up in the car park. That's not right. That's better. So I think we're heading towards Forbidden Valley, which is this way. Obviously Jewel wouldn't have changed at all, so I'm not lingering around that area. It might be worth coming back to this kind of in a few years' time after the haunting, the curse even at Alton Manor. See what it's like then, but at the moment nothing will have changed. I think this is the location of Nemesis Sub-Terrace. It's interesting to see they used to have like a rock climbing thing and trampolines. Now, I bet they weren't free. I bet they weren't including your ticket price. No, they weren't. £2 for 5 minutes, which I don't think is actually that bad. £2 for 5 minutes, but I think a lot of these upcharge attractions just don't get the leverage. £3 for a rock climb on the lava lump exhilarating challenge. But yeah, a lot of that stuff's gone. You know what I mean? Like I said before, with the kind of fairway games, they just must not have been kind of used by anyone. Although the arcades still exist, and I always think that's an odd one. And what's even odder is that there's a machine there, a vending machine, just for orange juice. And was it a craze back in the 2000s to have freshly squeezed orange juice? I don't know. Must have been, maybe. Just looking at these teddy bears, how awful. I would not want one of those horrendously ultraviolet monkeys. Oh, and them horses are even worse. Does anyone have any of these at home that they won back in those days at Alton Towers? Not good at all. Super Mario though, he'll stand the test of time there. Obviously got Nemesis. Once described as Europe's most intense roller coaster. I'm going to be honest, kind of. Even now, I think it still stands up against the competition. I think though I can see in the background Ripsaw. The Blade, that's still there. Nemesis. I'd say it's interesting, kind of, as people's kind of likes and preferences change. Alton Towers has changed. So we've got a fish and chip shop here. That's Costa now. Get your coffees. I think over time people have kind of gone more coffee than food. Yeah, Ripsaw. Do you remember Ripsaw? Ripsaw was a great spectacle. It was something I was always scared of, I've got to be honest. It wasn't something I ever went on, but all these crowds gathered to watch it. But I was the same. Any time you went to kind of Forbidden Valley and your friends went on Nemesis or Ripsaw, you were watching. Great ride. Like I say, they had some absolutely credible flat rides, and sadly they just never replaced them. Things like that went and didn't get anything new. I've heard that van's around still though. I've heard if you go to Chessington's new Jumanji exhibit, you'll find that there. But yeah, Ripsaw, brilliant. Could spend hours watching people on Ripsaw. And that's a shame, that's closed as well, this cafe bar area. Just really well themed, this whole area really, and I guess kind of sticking Funk and Fly there ruins that a bit. Obviously we've got Air had a really big shop, as you well know, because now it's a restaurant. And the Roller Coaster restaurant's a nice little restaurant, but I do remember going in that shop quite a bit, obviously. When all your friends going in the cool area with all the big rides and you're too scared, you spend a lot of time in the shop. It was a good shop. Air, without the Galactica portal, of course. I don't know if it's just me who thinks it, but I just feel like Air doesn't fit in with the Forbidden Valley area, really. I feel like it's a bit out of place. I guess they tried a bit more with the Cornet Galactica, but I don't think enough has changed about the ride to kind of make it fit in any better. This is interesting as well. So this is all blocked off. This is now the hotel guest entrance and the exit we usually use because it gets you to the car park a lot quicker. But back then it was just a boarded up wall. So that kind of sums up the day really, Alton Towers. I'm not going to bore you by going round the gardens or any of the stuff that I don't think really has changed. But if you wanted something to do and you do want a bit of a nostalgia trip, go check it out. Pop on Google Maps and you can go through the park in 2009. I think you can do it for quite a few of the parks. I think Thorpe's on there as well, and I know Blackpool was, because that's kind of what started me with this whole thing. I was at work one day. We used Google Maps for a few things, and there was something that pinged up around there, and I accidentally put my man down in Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I was like, oh, so yeah, interesting. But yeah, it's a really nice trip down nostalgia lane there. Kind of what have we taken away from it? How different life is with mobile phones for me. Kind of pricing's a big thing. Obviously, you see pricing going up, and I can't believe it's gone up that much since 2009. You know what I mean? We're only like 14 years in the future, and pricing's just crazy. But obviously, with phones coming in, did away with the need for maps and sales points, information points, the phone boxes. Yeah, it was nice to see some of the old attractions don't get the love. A lot of the flat rides that just haven't been replaced. I think kind of in the future, Towers needs to work on that. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll hatch again soon.